It's like Halloween, but make it cute. Hey everyone, Cathy Zielske here, and I have two cute Halloween cards for you. I can't even fit the whole thing in. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with this. I just had to have it. So, to see my cute Halloween cards, stick around. That video is coming up next. Here's a look at the products I'm using today, and they are so spooky cute. They're from Pretty Pink Posh. I have coordinating dies for these stamp sets, and of course there's this very cute cover plate. I'm going to get started with stamping, and I'm going to show you how I did one of these, and then I did a whole bunch off camera. Now, I don't know why I don't do this more often. It is such a great way to get perfect die cuts every time, and that is to stamp your image first, go ahead and make a blank die cut, and then frame out your stamped image. I tape mine down even though I have a grip mat. Sometimes it will still slip, and the grip mat is the sticky mat that I put inside of my MISTI. Then when you stamp it down, it is perfectly outlined, and I love that. And the thing is, I think I have just recently realized that I color better when I have something already stamped and cut out as opposed to the other way around. I feel like because I have such a limited amount of space that it makes me somehow more cautious, if that makes sense. But here I'm going to take one of my little guys that I cut and start coloring. I also like putting it on a little sticky Post-it note just to give me something to hold and also give me a little bit of clearance. Now, I am not the world's most accomplished Copic marker, but I wanted pink spiders because, some people don't like spiders. I don't have a problem with them personally. When I see them in my house, and granted, they're usually, not like spiders that are going to kill me, I let them live because, they're eating the bugs. They're doing what they do. And I saw this great meme once where someone said, what if that spider you just killed spent his entire life thinking you were his roommate? So I think about that. I digress. But I'm not the world's best colorer. Here, I just picked 3 colors and tried to go lighter in the center. Just pretty basic. I've also replaced a lot of my chisel nibs on my sketch markers. These are the Copic sketch style of marker. I take those chisel nibs off and put that little tiny fine nib on. It just helps me to have a little more control than the large brush tip. So oftentimes I will switch between them, but if I have a little small area like this, I will use that side. And you can buy a pack of nibs. I think they come like 3 to a package. It's really easy to do and swap out. So that's what I do. And here I'm keeping the colors very simple. I've got some tea tones. I think I go from T3 to T7. Love grays. Grays and pinks for me are some of the easiest Copic colors to work with. So I'm going to use these colors on all of my little friends today, but I'm just showing you the one coloring to save some time. Looks pretty good though. Now I'm going to cut the spiderweb cover plate, and I have this really amazing glitter cardstock. It's the Luxe glitter from Simon Says Stamp. I am going to set up my sandwich this way. I've got this right onto the cutting plate. I'm going to put my black mat on, and then I'm going to use my shim. This is for an Anna Griffin machine. I have the Impress, but I don't have a die cut cam anymore because that camera died. However, I did run it through twice because this is so thick, but look at how nicely that all pops out. And it's just so stepped up to have that chunky glitter. And of course, it's the kind of glitter that doesn't leave a mess behind. And we all like that kind of glitter. But isn't that fun? It has shine and chunkiness to it. Now I'm also going to take this is kind of a dull blade. I've had this pen blade for over a decade, but I'm just going to scrape away some of the extra chunky glitter that kind of sticks out. And you can kind of see a few pieces fall off. It's really hard to cut a material like this without some jaggedness to it. So I'm just cleaning that so it looks a little nicer when I go to put it down. I'll score my note card here, and this is just going to be a standard US A2, so that will be 4¼ inches wide by 5½ tall. But what I thought would be kind of cute was to add a little ink blending to the background to kind of reinforce the pink theme. See, that's why I ordered the pink witch hat. I really thought there was a theme going here, and I believe that there is actually. But this is pink lemonade, and I'm starting right about where the center of the web begins, and then I'll just blend it out. And it does not have to be perfect. This is a one color blend, and I'm going to just slowly kind of build it out so that it fades into nothingness. But once you put the web on top, I think it's kind of cute in the background. And I mean, it's coming together. But I am going to do more too. So I'll just keep blending a little bit more, get that going. And that's part one of the background panel. See how cute that is? Nice and glowy. Part two is to add some black spatter. I mean, why not? This is the perfect time to play with a technique like this, because even if it doesn't look great, fine, nobody cares. It's just a background. This is the gouache from Altenew, and I love this stuff because it's very opaque, it's very black. You pop it on, it goes everywhere, but I'm stopping there, okay? Now I'll use a little liquid glue and put this kind of in, the frame all the way around, and just make sure I get most of the web. I'm not concerned about getting every last detail, just enough dots to hold things in place or little strips here. And then I can position this, and I'm using my Score Buddy because I love that edge, just so I can quickly line them up and press it down, and there was no oozing glue. So isn't that a cute arrangement? I just thought it was so fun once I had everything colored and cut, and I thought Spooky Wishes would be cute. So I'm just going to stamp this in the VersaFine in the Nocturne, but because it's a pigment ink, I will sprinkle on a little of that clear powder. Then I don't have to worry about waiting for it to dry, but also it adds a little shine and a subtle amount of dimension to the piece. I don't do this a lot. I know some people do this all the time. I love the look, so I need to remember this because every time I do it, as soon as you melt the powder, it comes back into its beautiful depth of color, whatever you have for your ink color. And then it has that shine and just a little bit of texture. So it's a great way to also not have to let a pigment ink dry. You just heat set and you are ready to die cut. So I went ahead and die cut that. And now I'm just popping up my little spiders all across the web. And the Spooky Wishes has, let's see, I have regular depth foam squares on all three spiders and also on Spooky Wishes. And also, I love the little tiny spiders. I think they are so cute. And here too, I'm going to pop this up. I've got liquid glue on the greeting only because I wanted to make sure that I had just a little bit of wiggle room to make sure it was straight. And get that in place. And I just thought that looked very cute up there. It's even if you don't like spiders, they're so happy. Look at those little faces. All right, we're popping these down. Also, today I have a voiceover for you because I was having all the tech problems in the world when I filmed this video, but they have been resolved since then. And that makes me happy. Look at that shine though. Isn't that fun? Now, because I'm trying to get fancier, I have my white Jelly Roll pen, and I just thought I'm going to add a few little details. Okay, I don't really know necessarily exactly what I'm doing. Like I see other people do them and I think, okay, you draw a little line and a couple dots and it looks like a highlight. But this is looking really good. I often go longer than I should. Like this was okay. And I put one on the round side of the hat, also called a brim. But then when I got down here to my little mummy spider, I think I kind of messed it up a little. And that's the thing. I can make it great for a while, and then I think my hand just says, yeah, okay, we're done. But you know what? It's not horrible. It's better than horrible, as my friend Gina Kay says. So there we go. Spooky Wishes. Oh, but we're not done yet. Because even though that has all that shine, I can't stop sometimes when I have a lot of cuteness. And here I have some of that same liquid glue that I put in a squeeze bottle. Sometimes I want a little more control over tiny little dots of glue so that I can boop these things down, if you will, and not have oozing. So I put some in here and it works great, and place down, boop, 5 little enamel sequins, all the same size. And that's card 1. Okay, card 2. Now, I did a lot of die cutting ahead of time. I cut out 4 layers of this shape because I'm gonna make a shaker. And the shape itself, also there's the window, a little vellum window. It's 2 separate pieces, so if you want to make a shaker, you just line them up and cut them out. And I colored my spider. So a couple extra inks there, and I'll have all the colors listed in the description. But this is an alternate way of doing a shaker, and that is no foam, right? No foam tape, just build up layers of cardstock. I'm doing 4 layers of cardstock today. Probably if you were using regular sequins, you would want to do more because they tend to have a little more, uh, not thickness, but they have more dimension than what I'm using, which is the shaker beads. So for me, 4 layers worked great. This is the So Very Black cardstock from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm just lining them up. And even if you don't cut them perfectly on the inside part where you cut it out, because those 2 pieces are not joined, no one is going to notice. You just glue them together. And now comes the part where you put your shaker window on. And again, I just used the die to cut that out. Doesn't matter that it has those little perforations in there. I just trimmed off the top a little. And I'll set that down. Try not to squeeze so glue does not ooze inward. And I'll just let that adhere. And once that adheres, I'll add another layer of liquid glue. And now I can put my top layer on, which is this purple glitter paper. And again, it's that great glitter paper where none of it comes off. It's baked in there somehow. I don't know how they do that magic, but I say thank you. Now I have basically constructed my little potion bottle. I wanted to make a quick little background. I don't think I needed to do it quite this dark. Again, it does not matter. It's going to be in the background. So I just kind of blended something on, kind of messy, right? This is Fig from Concord and Ninth, and I just thought, there you go. It actually could have stayed not as a shaker because that almost has like a, I don't know, like a smoky, ethereal fill look to it, but I had the beads, so I wanted to pour them in. I thought about picking out the orange ones only so that it was more of a purple thing through and through, but you know what, I kind of like that extra color. And now, because they're all in there in a nice single layer, I can add my glue carefully. You don't want to bump anything at this time. Flip that piece over that you blended, and that becomes the back of the shaker. So once the glue adheres, then I have a little shaker bottle. How cute is that? It's all lined up, and now I will just let the glue really adhere. And there you go, little shaker built up just with cardstock. Now I'm going to add a little topper and have that be the stopper topper of my bottle. Little spider's gonna go on the side. And for my greeting, I'm just gonna take this little tiny creeping by to say hi. I'm going to stamp it in embossing, clear embossing ink, and I will emboss it with white powder. So I think that'll have a nice, just simple black and white look. We're powdering up with anti-static powder. I'll hit it here with the Simon Says Stamp clear embossing ink, and we will transfer. Now, once I get that, I'm going to add my white powder. This is alabaster powder from Brutus Monroe. I'll have to do a little bit of cleanup. I feel like every time I use this black cardstock, it just grabs embossing powder, but that's because it's just so nice and black and thick. And you can take a dry brush and just brush away any embossing powder that sticks and then melt the powder. Then once it's cool, you can buff away the anti-static powder because that sort of dulls the cardstock, or just use your fingers because now the oils in your hands can be your friend. I'm going to use the little bottle label to create the little crop here for my greeting. I was just trying to visualize where to cut it. So I shifted it over to the right and cut that out. And then for the background, I'm going to use this little crackle stencil. I think it's really cool. It's kind of funky. I think you could use it for more things than like a spooky Halloween card. I love the design of it, but just a light wash of Fig to create a grounding area to put all of my elements on. Very quick and easy to use. And then I reveal the beautiful blended crackleness. All right, and now we're just about ready to build a card. Isn't that cute? So I'll pop this up onto a black note card. I trimmed this down. I think this is 3.5 by 4 3/4. I wanted a nice wide margin. I'm using liquid glue to adhere the potion bottle right to the center, and I'll just let that adhere. And then I will be gluing the creeping by to say hi directly onto the bottle. No need to pop that up because, well, it's going to be nice and flat to the bottle. There's the little topper, popper thing. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. But here, we'll just pop this down. I really think this is a cute set. I think there are 3 different bottle types in this little potion set. And I think my little creeping by to say hi, pretty darn cute. All right. And now I do have some foam squares on the spider. I'm popping him right there so the C in the creeping is right between his little legs, and then finishing off with a few more spiders because I'm obsessed with those spiders. And that is almost done. We have to add little details to the bottle, and there we go, because I added them to the spider off camera. And that's my finished card. Let's do a quick design review of both cards. All right, now that my microphone and sound system is actually fixed, I can do this live vocally. Okay, let's start with card number 1. So I have my little overlay here that I like to bring in just to show where things are falling in the design. So of course, this is a compositional grid, and where these lines intersect are points of interest. So here it happens that I have, let me get a pretty pointer tool. Is it this one? Yeah. I have the title, or the greeting, Spooky Wishes is intersecting on 1. We have each of our spiders very close to the other 3. So that's kind of a happy accident. I mean, I kind of staggered them around based on the actual web, but I did want just a little bit of his legs poking in there. Of course, we have the 3 little spiders. This really is kind of an asymmetrically balanced card because you really can't divide it either way and have it be a mirror image. So really simple elements creating balance for one another. Of course, we have lots of repetition with our pink colors. We have the background blend in pink. We have all of the black, right? All the black ink together. We have the little white details repeating on each guy. And we have 3 spiders and 3 spiders, big and small, plus our little cascade of the enamel dots. I think this is really fun. I love how this turned out. Spooky, but make it cute. Let's look at the next one. This is a much simpler design. There's not as much going on. Of course, we have our nice little framing margin of black. We have all of our repeating elements of black and the purples. This is basically a center-weighted design where the core elements are hitting almost exactly in the center with just a little bit hanging off. So not really fully symmetrical, but sometimes you introduce a little extra element just to kind of shift the balance a little. And of course, the actual creeping by to say hi, that's providing balance to the spider as well. We have that cute little background that's just so subtly blended back there. I really like that. And of course, the shaker. So these little beads really do move quite well when you create a shaker with cardstock. Now, some of the beads are sticking in there, but then if you give it a good they kind of start to move. And I don't know if that's static or maybe I had some glue come through, but honestly, I don't think it matters with the shaker beads. So those are my 2 finished cards. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it inspired you for some spooky cute ideas. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you, so please hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here's another idea for a Halloween card that you may want to check out, and I will see you in that video. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.